finished the third Kawabata book called The South of the Mountain. And this is about fall and in Japan, and published in the United States, 1970. It took a while to translate into English, but reading this in the beginning, I think this is about 276 pages book. It's a medium-sized book, I would say, but it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit kind of I was kind of a very critical eye to look at this book, because almost most of the Kawabatas are dealing with a very Japanese sentiment, and that means like kind of sad incidents happen, but you rather taking it for challenge, probably you take it as accepting, and you deal with it. And so, and all these things happen, very bad things happen among the family relationship, because they don't communicate well with each other. And especially when I was started to read, that's very evident in this particular book. And it's about the guy, Shingo, who is probably 65-ish. I think he's still working in Tokyo. He lives in Kamakura area. Kamakura to Tokyo, I think by train probably takes like an hour, less than an hour by train. And so you live in this very posh Kamakura neighborhood, and you are very much like intellectual. Lots of professors, academics, very rich people, company presidents, and so forth live there because it's such a nice place. Facing to the Pacific Ocean, the beach there, and there's a big Buddha outside, sitting Buddha there, and it's like a tourist destination as well. But anyway, so that take place in a particular household where Shingo has a wife, and also they live with the son, Shuichi, who is married to Kikuko. So this young couple living with them. But lately, I think recently, I would say, this other children, which is a daughter, came to live with them with her two kids. And evidently, her husband and she are not getting along, whatever, so she kind of escaped from that particular house where her husband is causing a little bit of problem. But anyway, so they live together now. So Shingo's wife, Shuichi, Kikuko, another couple, and then Sako, which is the mother of the two daughters. So I forgot the name of two daughters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people live in the household. Because of the this Japanese attitudes toward the problem, I would say, there's a lot of problems there. You have to deal with more or less like a quiet mind, accept the misfortune that live. Okay? And so in the beginning, it kind of a little bit bothered me because of the particular attitude, and also one particular thing that bothers me a lot, and it's about the man attitudes toward women. I think man is still considered to be a powerful figure in the household, and women are not. And especially men are having mistress, affair. Having a mistress means, I think that traditionally, if you are rich, you get acquainted with this particular person who is mostly like a like a bar or restaurant type of woman who dealing with this particular business of drinking or the restaurant or something like that, and that's very common for men to kind of look up to, and the men support them in a sense that they are rich enough to support one woman there besides their family, their own family. And so that particular thing is going on there. The woman's attitude is more or less like you're not talking squarely with a husband, you're always subservient. So always, I think they looks like reading books. They suffer a lot because of this particular nature of subservience. Who passed away, or who got sick with a cancer or something like that, dealing with it, and so he himself becoming forgetful. So aging is one thing is very, very strongly depicted here. And so so it's about aging, Japanese family. And it is like that. And it's going to be very, very contemplative, meditative reading. Not necessarily the story goes to that meditative area, but they have lots of difficulty and mishaps in the family members, relationship, all these things, the accidents and abortion, for example, dealt with here. And but they, when I was reading this particular part of a lot of difficulty, why, that's tremendously difficult to deal with those problems. So you are kind of drawn into this particular difficulty, but they would persevere with that difficulty. They would take it, one day at a time type of approach that they live through. So all these things happen, but at the end, they kind of survive with that kind of difficulties, mishaps happening in the family. And there's a lot of things, which is in the story-wise very interesting, and I think that's captivating for reader to discover that it's happening in the family. And so you are drawn into this particular story more and more. But essentially, I think you kind of settle with this Shingo's aging and attitude to the life in general, and a very serene lifestyle. I think that's what it is there. And because of their very cultured people, there's one part is depicting they are looking at this no place mask. No mask is more or less like sometimes like a face is like expressionless, and but in turn that depicts all the Japanese psychology of this particular feeling of sadness, anger, the happiness, in one face expression. It's all in there. So quite a lot of no ask descriptions here, which I'm amazed how Kawabata writes about this Japanese old culture. This particular No culture started like probably 1500 or 1400 or something. Very, very old theater culture there, and mostly dealing with the man and woman relationship, something like that. But it's like no play itself is like a movement is very, very slow movement. And kabuki, for example, is more open and more boisterous gesture and more story-wise, more big incidents happens and so forth. But No is very, very subtle. No is dealing with more internal struggle, internal longing, or something like that. So that's very interesting. And this is more like a no play to read this book. Although the story is taking place 1950s probably, because this is 1956 fiction, and people are more or less like a westernized modern people. However, a lot of traditional lifestyles there still existing. So that's interesting. And so overall, I thought this is not a very depressing story of old Japanese culture, but in essence, I think this is very serene, a very nice book to read. I think, especially when you are getting older, probably, I think you have lots of things in your past history that you felt lots of, up and down in your life and something like that, and you feel like you have to deal with those difficulties, and you do, and eventually you survive through that difficulty, and that's a nice feeling at the end. So I would say this is one of the best Kawabata. I only read 2 other books, but I think this is very nice, more contemplative, meditative, and also more serene things there, although happening there, very eye-opening happenings there. However, very serene lives there. Also, what I thought is like all the characters, like Shingo and his wife, and Shuichi and his wife, and Sako and those 2 children, and everybody is like a very equal share of roles there, very intense depictions of each individual struggle. And so that reminds me like a movies. So if I can make a movie, this story can make a very nice movie. Almost like Merchant Ivory's type of movie, probably in a British film, for example, and all the Kazuo Ishiguro's Remains of the Day type of movie. It's like a more serene type of things there, and so it's very, very interesting. And as a matter of fact, when I looked at it, there is a movie made 1956 or 57, something like that. Setsuko Hara was playing Kikuko in there. So wow, that's I like to watch that movie. So if I could get hold of that particular copy, I like to see that movie. because I think that's very, very nice movie materials there. So yeah, so overall, this The Sound of the Mountain by Yasunari Kawabata, I recommend.